All right, if you're here for the Dandadan panel. This is what we're going to start in a few minutes once everybody takes their seats. I know there's a few here that don't know here. They're just here to check it out. All right, there might be some topics that we kind of might have to skirt around, okay, because of the themes and basically what they're looking after for. And so for those y'all who are kind of, don't like that kind of topic, just a heads up now, okay? We'll try to keep it a PG-13 as best we can, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? We'll try our best to keep it PG-13. I'll screw it up possibly the first question I have. So. Welcome to panel room 1, Dandadan panel. We have a little bit of alien talk, ghost talk, and voice actor talk, maybe? Give everybody give a warm welcome, a warm San Antonio welcome to Abby Trott and Beckles. Again, once we get to Q&A, raise your hand, I'll come to you, but I'll warm them up for you guys, okay? So let's go ahead and start, all right? First of all, welcome to San Antonio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First time here? No, Abby, I think you and I.
I've been here a few times now.
Yeah.
I just want to do a test. Is this better, or is this better? Or is this better, or is this better?
Second.
Microphone?
Yeah.
Okay.
AJ, but your voice can carry, right?
What?
Carry?
I don't know. Hey guys! I was at a flea market last year, so that's my only experience.
Wait, what flea market did you go to?
I don't know. No idea. I showed up and it was a great time.
All right. Oh wait, you must be at Trader Village? That right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that's awesome. I was talking to the fans before they let them in, and eager to meet you all. Excited for the anime. AJ, start off with you. Tell us your experience in entering this world, that first time reading the script and saying, wait, I'm going to be doing what? Saying, huh?
Entering this world, well, in 1998, it's honestly, I had started reading the manga about a year after it began. And I think it's been out for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
So I was already well kind of like acclimated to its unique atmosphere. But I never thought that I would, get a chance to actually be in it, let alone be Okaru. So it's incredible, and it's probably the most fun I've ever had voicing a character. So yeah, it has been an amazing experience.
What about you, Abby?
So I hadn't heard about Dandadan until I got the audition. And I remember I got 2 clips for Momo. One was the clip where she's in the hall with Okaru and they start arguing about ghosts and aliens. And the second clip was when Momo is going through the abandoned building and she really opens up to Okaru and talking about her family history. And so those are 2 really powerful scenes that kind of show different aspects of Momo's character. What I fell in love with immediately, besides Momo as a character, was the animation and the style of voice acting. It just felt so raw and natural, and I was immediately excited about the show. Sure. Whether or not I was in it, I was just excited to see it. And then I looked at it and I was like,
I'll say with you, Abby, you hear words or phrases like anime of the year, one of the best to come along in a long while, Dandadan this, Dandadan that. Any pressure to live up to that hype?
yeah, I mean, I always feel pressure as an actor because if somebody comes into something knowing about it, I don't want to disappoint. I don't like letting people down. I don't like people to be disappointed, especially because of me. But all I can do is my best, Sure. So that's what I'm trying to bring to the table when I record.
And when you first read for it, well, you were aware of the manga already, right?
No,
you weren't.
I will.
But once you were aware of the uniqueness of it, did you sit back and go like, wait, what? Huh?
Well, I didn't know I still didn't know how popular the manga was, or how popular the show would so quickly become. So I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I started recording. I was just excited to be a part of it, and it seems to have kind of gone crazy on the internet a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm scrolling through Instagram, and every other video is like creepy nuts, you know?
Yeah.
People doing crazy good cosplay. And it's so fast. I feel like the show just came out, and it's already everywhere. So
It's everywhere, yeah.
it's nuts. It's creepy nuts.
It's creepy.
So it's really cool. It's really cool to see.
And speaking of cosplay, look at that over there. That cool. Hey, AJ, you know, same thing for you. You know, I know you're in this world. You know, were there any other mangas, other anime that you took inspiration from?
Yes, so I grew up, like Naruto is probably my favorite, for like nostalgia reasons, I related a lot to Naruto. Yeah, Naruto! And Shikamaru exists, and he's the coolest character ever.
What about Rock Lee though?
Rock Lee's
Yeah.
probably the
Okay.
GOAT,
Yeah.
but Shikamaru, like just the way he talks, is like, it's very similar to Okarun when he's in his transformed state. So that, and then like, always got to sprinkle in a little bit of Johnny and Bosch, who plays Ichigo, and you know, everyone else. So those two, but you know, I try to add my own flavor, but I would say if I had to pick, it would be Shikamaru and like, just Johnny as an actor, yeah.
Yeah, you give me flashbacks there. Johnny comes to these things. We have this running gag. He gives me the hardest time every time I ask him a question.
Really?
So every time I'll ask him a question. Oh, Johnny, whatever, Power Ranger or Broly. Yes, Jeff. And then afterwards, it's like we're being a good sport. All right, but I would say with you, AJ, what's it like been for you playing Okarun? How much has that impacted your life?
Man, well, it's kind of just, I'm only just starting to see the effects. I've gone to, this is my third one now, convention since the beginning of Dandadan. And it was like, the first one I went to was after the show had finished airing, and I didn't know what to expect. And normally at conventions, right, like I've been doing this for like 3 years. My first like big thing was Takanichi and Tokyo Avengers. But I've always had, like, you know, 5 people show up at a time, five minutes of like nothing, and then 5 people, and then, but like right out the gate with SAC Anime that I was at, just the longest line I've ever seen. It never stopped. A bunch of people are just really, really passionate about it. So I can't speak for the long term, but in general, like I can really see the effect that Dandadan has had in pop culture, like so quickly. Because you see it online, but you know, it doesn't always carry over, so it was cool to see. Yeah.
And Abby, you lived in Tokyo for a while, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. How has that been for you as far as entering the anime manga world and just where it almost started, you know?
It's weird. So I have a weird roundabout relationship with anime. Like, of course, growing up, I was a fan of anime. I watched anime, Rurouni Kenshin, Inuyasha, everybody. And then I moved to Japan for a while, initially on the JET program, and I lived in Akita, Japan. Does anyone know where that is?
No.
It's in northern Japan. It's so there's Hokkaido, and then there's Honshu, the main island. There's Aomori, and then right below Aomori on the west coast is Akita. So it's up there. Cold winters, lots of snow. So I lived there for 2 years doing the JET program, a teaching exchange program. And then I moved to Tokyo for 4 years because I wanted to be an actor, singer, and I was like, oh, I should probably get back to that old dream of mine that I, studied. I was a theater major, so I was like, okay, let's get back to it. So I moved to Tokyo. In Tokyo, I was doing mainly children's plays to teach English that traveled around Japan. So it was a really cool gig because I got to see a lot of Japan. And I was just auditioning for whatever, commercials, backup singing here and there. And I got to do a little bit of voiceover in Japan, not anime dubbing.
Oh, what was
it? Was more like promo stuff, textbooks, English textbooks, and the first character auditions I got were actually for the children's shows that I was doing, for the puppet characters that we had on stage, and also people in giant kigurumis, like there was a panda character named Pom Pom. They needed voice matches for these characters, and I auditioned, and I realized that I could match a fair amount of the characters, and I realized that maybe voiceover was something that I could be good at. and I actually loved it. So then I decided to leave Japan to pursue voiceover because there's not a ton of English voiceover in Japan for video games and animation, and all the anime dubbing is done here, or at least most of it to my knowledge. So I left Japan, moved back home, and I entered a contest online.
Yes.
Did you hear about this?
I watched that video recently.
Oh no, you didn't.
It was good.
Oh, it's still on YouTube.
Bang Zoom.
Bang Zoom, yes. So I was looking for opportunities online for voiceover, and I stumbled upon an anime voiceover competition called Perfect Idol, hosted by Bang Zoom, the studio that dubs Dandadan and Demon Slayer and a whole bunch of anime. I entered this contest. I had like a day to enter. The deadline was like the next day by the time I had found it. And there were a few stages. I went through those stages, and I ended up winning the contest. And as part of the finale, they flew me to LA to do this, last episode, last final audition. And I got to dub Miss Monochrome, which is a really cute anime that you probably haven't heard of, but it's adorable. Yuri Horie, the singer, she voices Miss Monochrome, who's an android with a pet Roomba. Adorable. So that was my first anime dub after winning this contest, and that's when I realized that all of the anime dubbing, video games, animation, or most of it was based in LA, so that's where I ended up. And that's where I
And you're still here, you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Well, it's like in Dallas, right? Some studios are in Dallas.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
anime dubbing in Texas, yeah. There's a big anime hub there as well, which I didn't know until after I moved to LA.
Oh, I said I figured out it was represented anime. I think it was.
Maybe.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
But also, like, I wasn't trying to do specifically anime.
Oh, you weren't?
I was trying to do voiceover. The first classes I took were for commercials, So I just kind of fell into anime voiceover.
Yeah.
And as a fan of anime, it was pretty exciting and still is, so.
Oh, awesome, thank you. So, AJ, I got a question for you. You're San Antonio, heavy Hispanic population. So you as a Puerto Rican, what does it mean for you to represent your roots, the Hispanic culture in this world of anime?
It's so cool, and I was just in Puerto Rico. I actually left Puerto Rico to come here because there was a convention out there as well. And I've never been, and in general, I wasn't raised in Latin culture, Puerto Rican culture. I was adopted when I was really, really young, so I didn't get to experience that. So when I went to Puerto Rico, it was so cool to see so many people that literally look like me. And where I'm from in Massachusetts is a big Puerto Rican, Dominican population as well. So I was like, oh, and these look like all the people I grew up with. So that was really sweet. And in general, Puerto Rican, being black and everything like that, it's so cool that more and more of us are being trusted with these characters. Excuse me. I feel like it's kind of about time, and I'm seeing people, I guess I'm no longer new on the scene, but people that are newer than me starting to come up that are also people of color, a lot of Latin people and everything like that. It's awesome to be, and especially for a role as big as Okarun, it's cool that people can see that and see me and feel inspired to do it too.
Do you try to, if you can, you inject that type of vibe into Okarun? Is that something you would like to see happen? Or?
I can only go as far as the writing and what they allow me to do. I could always make suggestions and stuff like that, but my main goal is just to be the best I can be and be visible. Visible enough to where people can see me and again be inspired. Unfortunately, with anime, you can't really inject too much into it because but yeah.
Yeah, a good anime that I've enjoyed that represents the Hispanic culture is you ever heard this Seis Manos?
What is it?
Seis Manos, 6 hands.
No.
It's on Netflix. So it's based in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, and it's an anime.
Really?
And it's called Seis Manos.
It's on Netflix.
It's
That's
on Netflix,
cool.
yeah. It's only one season. I think Danny Trejo,
Oh,
he
that's
voices
cool.
the main villain.
Really?
Yeah.
He's so nice.
Yeah, I would recommend that one. If y'all really want to see a really good anime with heavy Mexican influence, Seis Manos on Netflix there. Before I go to Abby, just one more question I have for you. Do you ever feel the heaviness of portraying Okarun? Just how much the fans You love the character.
Dude, I was so nervous. Like, I knew there was potential for it to be a big deal. In general, like, the fact that they had like 3 English trailers that like they never have, maybe they might have one. Like Aniplex will do English trailers sometimes, but in general, like, a lot of the time the English dubs don't get a lot of love from the, you know, the promotional aspect of it. So they did that, and they've had so much key art and all this stuff. So they really, and the fact that it was available on Netflix, Crunchyroll, Hulu, like they wanted people to see this. But in general, like as a fan of it, I just wanted to do a good job by the fans. So I remember, like, because we finished all the episodes before the first episode came out. So we had to wait like weeks and weeks for the movie to air and then those episodes to come out. And so there's like a month between when we finished, I feel like, and when it actually aired, and I was just like always anxious. Like, oh my god, what if they hate it? What if they don't? What if the voice isn't cool? What if the voice for like Okarun when he's transformed? What if they hate that?
You'd be so bummed.
I'm just but everyone's been so sweet. So it feels a little. I was nervous at first, but I think like seeing all the people cosplay and everything like that has really helped me feel more confident in what we did. Yeah,
That's awesome. By the way, your cosplay makes me think you still have your hand up. I don't know. What was her hair? Abby, you know, obviously Dandadan deals in the occult and UFOs and ghosts and whatnot. Do you believe in UFOs and ghosts? Any experiences you want to share with us?
I believe in something. I don't know what it is. I think that there are undeniably UAPs.
Yeah.
Definitely like something, don't know what it is, don't know. And I believe that somewhere in the universe, right, we can't be the only thing alive. There has to be life somewhere.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I believe in aliens. As far as ghosts, I also believe that there's something that we can't explain. I don't know if it's a ghost in the sense of, that we think of ghosts as in like, a person has passed away and they left their spirit is, I don't know if it's that, I don't know, residual energy, I don't know, I don't really have theories. But my only weird encounter, it's not really a ghost story, but I definitely had a weird experience. One time when I was living back in Massachusetts, I'm also from Massachusetts, my mom and I would take walks around this like loop area that's near my house, and it's like kind of in the woods. It's really nice and peaceful, and there are houses in the woods, and we would walk there all the time. One night we were walking there, and all of a sudden I was just stricken with this fear. It was so out of nowhere.
primal fear.
Yeah, and it was so out of nowhere and so sudden that I was just confused, and I didn't know what I was going to say, but I turned to my mom and I was like, "Mom?" And she goes, "Grab my arm and walk as fast as you can." Because she felt the same thing at the same time, which is weird. It was so strange. So we walked out of there, and then we get to our street, and I felt fine. And I was just like, what was that? What just happened? I needed answers, because I'm like, I need an explanation for this, but to this day, I don't know what it was. I didn't hear anything or smell anything that I'm aware of. Like, it was just out of nowhere, bizarre. So I know that there are a lot of people who have had unexplained experiences, and I don't think they're making it up. I don't think they're liars. Some people, sure, they're making stuff up for attention, but a lot of people just have had things happen to them that they can't explain. So I believe in something. Yeah.
What about you, AJ?
I also believe in aliens because the universe is infinite and it's expanding. So like it does not make any sense to me that we would be the one exception. Do I have proof? No. I don't know if they're anywhere near us, but I think they're out there. As far as ghosts are concerned, I don't really believe in ghosts. I like everyone else, I feel like I've had like weird experiences. Yeah, you know, like when you hear your mom call you and you say, "What was that?" And she says, "I didn't say anything." And then I just choose to believe I'm going crazy because that's easier for me. But yeah, no, I believe in aliens. I don't really believe in ghosts.
No, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think my mom told me a story. She says when I was a baby kid, that I had a bad habit of getting out of the crib and then just walking around. I sleep like
Yeah.
So one night she thought that's what it was doing one night. just sleepwalking, gotta get him out, you know? She swears to the day she stood up, she got up in bed, she looked, and she saw a red jacket floating in the air.
That's
Coming
terrifying.
towards her. Time to go sleep.
Right.
To leave the house?
It's your house now, red jacket.
As far away from that jacket as you possibly can.
Yeah. But, overall though, oh, quickly, by the way, get your questions ready. I'm about to turn it over to y'all in just a few seconds. If y'all just want to chime in, anyway, if somebody was entering the Dandadan world for the first time, they could say, hey, AJ, hey, Abby, I'm gonna watch episode 1.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
I'm going to keep it PG-13.
Yes.
I will give them a trigger warning for sure, because I feel like that's just a necessity. When I've been telling people that have come up to me that, everyone says, don't worry, it stops after that. And I used to do that too, and then the last episode happened, and I was like, dang it. It is a deeper story than it seems like. I think sometimes you go through things in life, things that aren't so great, things that are really gross, and maybe in the moment or after the fact, you're talking to your friends and you're like, that was weird. You might laugh or chuckle, but it still feels wrong. And then you think back to it in the future and you're like, oh wait, that was weird. And Dandadan is a lot like that, where there's moments that are very serious, and it treats it very seriously. But there's still some wacky aspect to it that makes you go, should I be laughing? So that's a common theme. It's a very juvenile thing, right? A common theme throughout the entire story, not just what we've seen so far, but I'm not going to spoil anything for the manga. I'm fully caught up. But a common thing that happens is just like this thing where adults can take advantage of children, and like what it's like growing up as a child and having to navigate all that. So I would probably say that. Just like it might make you uncomfortable. It's okay if it makes you uncomfortable and you don't want to continue. But this show is a lot deeper. If you actually think about the themes and what's going on a little bit deeper than the laughs. There is some more serious topics happening. So yeah.
Abby?
Yeah, I've had friends say, oh, I'm gonna watch Dandadan, and I do give them an immediate trigger warning. That's the first thing I say. And then I say it's a wild show, which it is. The animation is insane, and one thing that I love about the show is the relationships of the characters, especially between Momo and Okurun, and how they're figuring it out. Like it very much feels like, it reminds me of my teenage years.
Me too, yeah.
Big time. And so that is, I've never really had that depicted so well in anime or manga, and really felt it, And so their relationship, I tell people, I think is pretty special, and I hope that they love Momo as much as I do.
Yeah. Okay, so I told you all before we get the fans in, we'll have a little fun with the fans. So we have this nice pop that I donated to the panel.
A nice
Trigun.
pop.
Nice pop.
It's a Trigun. It's a Trigun pop, all right?
Nice.
So, you want to do best question gets it? How do you want to play
How
this
do
out?
you usually decide?
Fight. Yeah, no, we do that. Just throw on the ground, go. What do you think, AJ?
I think
How many do
maybe
this?
we can pick 3. Well, do you do it at the end?
Yeah, we do it at the end, right before I
Okay.
let you go.
Well, that's tough.
Maybe we can pick 3 people and
We
then
can arm wrestle.
do
Rock,
paper, scissors.
Yeah.
scissors, or you're
We'll
front.
pick
Yeah.
3 people. You pick one. We'll,
Yeah,
we'll pick
yeah.
one, and
And
then
it-
rock,
Yeah,
it's
we'll
not
have a
gonna
rock,
be-
paper, scissors
It's
battle
not-
here.
It's not gonna be best question, it's gonna be at random.
yeah, at
So
random.
if you're feeling like, oh, this is gonna be a contestant, you
Yes.
say it,
Okay.
shout it out. Be like,
So-
you're in the rock, paper, scissors
We'll
battle.
just do one round though, right? One shot.
Well,
No best
technically
out of
2,
Oh.
because 3 people are playing, right?
All right.
So actually, no. If one person beats the 2 others,
Yeah, you know what it is. Quick elimination. There'll be one quick elimination
Believe in
meeting.
us.
All right, so let's get the Q&A going. Oh, Fat Gum, I saw you first. I call him Fat Gum because he wears an awesome Fat Gum
Really?
cosplay. Go ahead.
Usually I do, but today I'm you.
hi.
Hi. I was wondering, what's you guys' favorite flavor of ice cream and wine?
You know, I don't really love ice cream. I know. I'm not a big fan, but if I had to pick, like, okay, I like to have ice cream with things, like I like to put it on top of other dessert items, but I won't have it by itself. Vanilla, because I'm basic.
Same.
That's such a hard question. I love me like a caramel swirl situation. If we're talking gelato, pistachio.
Right there we go.
Pistachio gelato. But as a kid, I was a basic bitch and chocolate. Chocolate.
I like mint chocolate chip when I was a kid.
Cookie dough? Oh my gosh, too many to choose now. Oh, you gotta cookie
Gotta get the pecan praline. Pecan praline.
Hi, sorry, I'm Isabella, by the way. Nice to meet y'all. So I was wondering if you had a headcanon for your characters, and if you do, what are they?
A headcanon.
Not particularly, I mean.
I don't have like a specific headcanon about Okaroon. Like I personally, obviously this is not confirmed in any way, but I personally think the only one right for him is Momo, which is pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a headcanon relationship-wise. I think Okaroon is so good for Momo because he forces her to, like, communicate.
Yes.
She struggles with her emotions and communicating them.
Yep.
And Okaroon is good.
And she's so patient with him too. Like
He's so patient with her.
it's great.
Aww.
Hi, Shelby. I was wondering what's your guys' favorite lines that you had to dub?
I know, there's so many good ones.
We've talked about this, like where I think one of my favorite scenes is the, goodbye, you're goodbye, goodbye, you're just goodbye, you're goodbye. That's like one of my favorites. I don't know.
I like the part for you.
Oh, okay.
When I said this at our last panel too, when they're saying goodbye and Momo goes, "See you tomorrow," and it cuts to black and you just hear Okaroon go,
Okay.
cutest okay. It's so adorable, I love it. One of my favorite lines to record was, "Want me to feed you while you get swole?" So funny.
Turbo Granny Powers rock, y'all. I like all of Okaroon's like transformed lines because there's not many of them actually. If you go back and look, he doesn't have a whole lot. Like our director Alex Von David, he'd be like, "So do you want to do emo Okaroon or normal Okaroon first?" And I'd go, "Emo, please, because it's so much fun." And I'd have like 2 lines, and he'd be like, "Well, we're done."
All right, got another question over here.
Hello, my name is Mila.
Hi.
Hi. And the question I wanted to ask y'all was, what was y'all's reaction when you first saw the script for episode 5?
So which one? What happens in episode 5?
Episode 4.
The episode, like, where are your balls?
Oh, when he realized. Okay, yes.
So I had read, by that point, I had read ahead in the manga, so I knew that was coming. But it's so funny because it's like, we thought we remedied the situation, and then, oh no, your balls are missing. That one's right there. Do you want one? I have an extra.
No, I have one. No, there's a tiny one. We have the tiny one. There's a tiny and big one.
That's a gold-plated dude nut.
Episode 5 is that also the episode where it flashes that time jumps forward to them being in Momo's place, and Seiko's like, "How did you not notice?" And he was like, "Well, I didn't know my nose."
Yes.
And she's like, "It's more like a little pencil."
She didn't have have to say that.
No.
Psycho.
All right, got another question here?
Yeah, hi. I've got a voice actor question for you. Ever since the pandemic and everything's become a mix of in-studio work and some people are even going full remote, what are your thoughts on what's become of the voice acting industry, and has that made it easier for people to break into the field?
I started voice acting during the right before the pandemic, but like I didn't start working professionally until the pandemic. Like I was doing like Tokyo Avengers and Digimon even like in my room in Massachusetts. So in that sense of it, like before, like Abby was saying, like the work's in LA, it's in Texas, it's in these specific places, not in Massachusetts, right? So because nobody can go in studio, it meant everybody that was qualified could get an opportunity. Now it's starting to move back towards in studio, and that's just because in general it's a lot easier for our engineers when everyone's on the same setup. They're using their like multi-$1,000 equipment. It makes it a lot easier for them. There's specific specifications for like audio stuff too from the studios when we're recording, so that it makes it easier for them to meet those requirements and stuff like that. However, it is still totally possible to do it remotely. It's just like there's less of that work now, at least less than during the pandemic. But I would say, like I still tell people, no matter where you live, if you're interested in doing it, there's a big community online. There's like a whole bunch of things, like things like the Amazing Digital Circus, what else? Like Has Been Hotel and all this. I think originally those are all cast like online, and they're huge. So it's not like you can't do voiceover. It's just doing anime and certain like prelay cartoons. Prelay is like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. They still do. Actually, Nickelodeon still does remote, and like in general they still do remote a little bit, but they would prefer if you're on location. So.
All right, thank you. How do you want to come in? No, you good? All right, we'll have a question here. Go ahead.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was like, where are you?
We're gonna move.
We gotta get the crowd back here.
What was your favorite fight sequence from season 1?
Favorite fight sequence?
You go for a second.
Aw, man. I really love the whole race, the Turbo Granny race.
Oh,
That it's just so awesome, and then the music. It's so perfect.
No,
It's
that was all
ridiculous.
good.
That and the animation during that whole sequence is pretty insane.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite. It's fight. It's
Yeah,
a
it's like a long,
challenge
yeah. It's literally like a race.
Do you have
That's my favorite.
How about you?
Episode 4.
What was your favorite?
What was your favorite?
I think just like Turbo Granny's very first introduction, like when
Oh,
yeah.
running from her? Like in episode 1?
Like I think it's like when I like that first portion. It wasn't really the fight introduction to Turbo Granny.
Yeah.
Will be because then she turned into the cat afterwards.
Yeah.
That was my favorite portion of it.
Yeah.
You got another question way back here? Go ahead.
I have kind of a weird question, but if you guys were Pokemon, how would you say your names?
Mama! Mama!
All right, next question.
Hello guys, my name is Abram. I want to know a question for both of you. The episode, I can't remember which one, but the episode about Acro Silky's backstory.
Yeah.
they dropped
How do we feel about that?
How do I feel about it?
Not good. That was another one that I had read ahead, and I knew it was coming. And reading it, I was just like, oh no, oh no. Once this is animated, I'm gonna cry. Like this is so. They went for it. They really tried to make us upset, and it worked. And like the part where Momo at the end is devastated by the fact that it's like, well, where's she gonna go now? Is such a crushingly horrifying thought, like existential crisis mode. I really felt it, in that scene.
Yeah.
That whole thing was really devastating to act. I'm laughing because it's sad.
That was the moment when I like, cause I knew it was coming as well, where I was like, oh, this is when people are going to realize that Dandadan is not just like a silly little fun time, right? Mostly it is, but you know, and spoiler alert, like there's plenty more where that came from. Like it has its tragic moments in Dandadan, so seeing people like react to that, and Science Saru did such a good job at like adapting it and being respectful to it and adding to it and like showing the pain and everything that this woman was going through. Yeah. Yeah, but then episode 8 happened and we laughed again.
Wait, whose question was the acro soaking question? You're going to rock, paper, scissors at the end of this.
Yeah!
What?
You did?
I picked mine.
Oh, I'm the only one
did?
left? Okay.
Oh, what's the young lady over there?
Okay, so we
Okay.
got 2, we need one more, it's on you.
Okay.
And by the way, everybody, a little housekeeping before I go when we're done. This is the exit, all right? So don't do that, do this, okay? Just a heads up, all right?
Hello.
Hi. I love your cosplay.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay, so San Antonio is really well known for its history and its urban legends. Would you be open to doing like a ghost tour or just like a haunted walk?
I'm a baby. No. Maybe. I did Halloween Horror Nights for the first time, and I wasn't scared. But it's because I knew that they were actors and they couldn't hurt me without facing legal repercussions. But like an actual, ooh, this is haunted, I'm good.
I 100% would. I did actually go in Scotland. They do like these dungeon tours things. Not dungeons. It's like the old like catacombs. I can't think of the word for it. They're not catacombs either. That's the wrong word. They're like these old tunnels under the city, and they're abandoned, and they're allegedly haunted. So I did a tour to see the cool architecture.
Was it terrifying?
No.
Oh. They were just tunnels.
I really wanted to see a ghost, but I didn't see any ghosts.
One day you will.
You don't meet Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny has a question.
Turbo Granny. Woo!
Yeah. Which, speaking of, it is nice to have some more mature characters in an anime that then, as a more mature woman, feels like I can cosplay. And so, thanks to y'all's show, I was able to do this. But my question is, obviously Granny very much enjoys cooking for her children.
Yes.
So what is it that you would love for Granny to cook for you?
Oh, man.
That's a great question.
Ooh. I want chicken katsu with curry.
I want soba with tempura. Please.
Yes.
Okay, we have one more question here.
So do you like have a least favorite character? If so, why?
There's one obvious choice.
Yeah, but you're I want to talk about. I don't know if I have like a least favorite character. I really appreciate all the characters for their various quirks and their evolving character story arcs.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing I love about the show is you can see the characters evolve. Even within the first season, like you can see our characters evolve.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have a least favorite?
Well, no, for the same, like, I think, because you watch their progress and it's, like, really cool, but when I was first reading the manga, I hated Gigi. The second I saw screw this guy. But he's cool, so.
Hey, AJ, do you have your contestant yet?
Oh, crap, crab apples in, no, but I will pick.
Okay, all right, well, this is gonna be the final question, so.
Okay.
You gotta get your contestant.
Yeah, I will.
Hi, I just wanted to ask, what is the most important thing that playing your characters taught you about yourself, whether it be as a voice actor or just as a person?
What a good question.
There's a lot about Okuru and I relate to. Like, my favorite, like, moment to dub was the first episode when he's doing his big old monologue. And he's talking about like, dumb stupid aliens I used to call out to you never came, screw you. And obviously it's like, what he's feeling is very real, right? But what he's talking about is a little ridiculous. But, you know, when I was doing that scene, I was like, we've all kind of, I say all the time, right? Just because someone says something about you doesn't mean it's true. However, when you hear the same thing over and over and over, and you're experiencing bullying or whatever from a lot of people, it's hard not to believe it, right? Like, so a big thing for Okarun is he doesn't think he's enough. He doesn't think he could be a good friend. He thinks he's a little bit of a loser. And that's not because he is, it's just because how he was treated. So he kind of used aliens, right? This thing that very much could be possible, but obviously no one's actually seen, right? As his like one little bit of hope, right? But I think somewhere in him, like inside him, he's like, aliens aren't real, you know, maybe they, you know. So him seeing them and realizing like, oh, you guys are there and even you guys aren't there for me, that's crazy. Like I have nobody except for Momo. And I think like being able to, I think there's a lot about that we can all like relate to in a way. So I don't know if he taught me or I learned anything about myself, but in general, like I really, really, really connected with Okarun.
While recording Momo, so I record a lot of characters, I think, that have very clear voices and good diction. And Momo is not that. And so our director, Alex Von David, really helped me embrace the imperfections and ugliness and realness that comes with those voice cracks and all of those little things that are messy, yeah, and really embrace that messiness. And it's really fun, and I've learned to do that a lot better through Momo.
Yay.
Yeah.
Woo. That last question? Well, yeah.
You want to? Okay.
That was a really good question.
Come on up. Come on up. All right. Now the battle begins. Here we go. AJ, you want to be moderator on this? Help me out here.
Oh, sure.
Make sure that everything's
Do it.
square. All right. Come on in. Get a little circle here, guys.
You get to be a rep.
You get to be a rep, yeah. And then Abby's going to present you the trophy. All right.
Just like that.
All right, guys. Get your fists ready. Everybody ready to go? So, AJ, you want to do the count?
Yeah.
What?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ooh,
okay.
All right. Now to these two.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ooh, tie.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. That one wouldn't have counted. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
We have a winner! Abby's going to present you your trophy. All right, thank you, everybody. Everybody, their booths are open. So go down to your booths. You're open? Okay, 5 o'clock. AJ will be there, and Abby will be at your table about 4:45.